On the environmental front today, the Food and Drug Administration moved against one of the so-called non-polluting, non-phosphate detergents, which have been enjoying a sales boom since the news that phosphates and ordinary detergents tend to cause eutrophication, destruction by algae of the nation's waters. In New York, federal marshals seized Bohack No Phosphates detergent. In Maryland, they seized Ecolo-G detergent, both on the grounds that they are so highly alkaline, so caustic, that they require warning labels. Both detergents are produced by the same firm. Tonight, Robert Shackney has an investigative report.
There's money to be made in fighting pollution or appearing to. Take a phosphate-free detergent called Ecolo-G. Manufactured in New Jersey, on the market since June, Ecolo-G is said to be bringing in $15 to $16 million a year for North American Chemical Company. Distribution now supposedly in 25,000 stores in 44 states. As the manufacturers, two brothers named Sobel, tell it, profit isn't their motive. It's all being done, they say, in the public and environmental interest.
We have a small company. We have a young company. We're motivated to clean up the polluted world. We have young children. We don't have to satisfy stockholders or boards of directors. My brother Nate and I can sit down with our executive vice president, Mr. Louis Dalmeda, and in 3 minutes decide, let's make a non-phosphate, non-NTA, non-enzyme, non-polluting product. Even if we don't make any money, let's put it on the market and prove to the world that a company that's dedicated to help our environment, to help stop pollution, let's prove to the world it can be done.
The Sobel's company, North American Chemical, may be young, but it has a history. These are the manufacturers who, in the mid-1960s, hired as a sales broker a firm with reputed organized crime connections, controlled by the family of alleged Cosa Nostra leader Jerry Catena. Law enforcement authorities say that this is what then happened. A campaign of terror against the A&P supermarket chain. 16 cases of arson and 1 murder in the unsuccessful Catena organized effort to sell detergents to the A&P. The Sobels say they knew nothing of these crimes, and they have long since severed relations with the Catenas.
It is true that in the past, I think 5 or 6 or 10 years ago, one of the brokers was accused of having some bad connections with organized crime. We were not aware of it. We didn't know anything about it at the time. There is certainly no truth to the fact that our company in any way was associated with this broker. It was a hired broker, hired on a fee for service. The broker is no longer connected with the company.
The real issue, past history aside, is how well the detergent cleans clothes. The company says it tested Ecolo-G in comparison to other rival detergents, and that Ecolo-G tested out as the superior cleaner.
I would suggest that, in all fairness, that CBS go out on the market today, buy a box of our product and a box of any other, send it to 10 different testing laboratories, 10 of the best in the United States, as we have done, and you will find that these results will be duplicated.
Well, CBS News did test Ecolo-G in 2 independent laboratories with samples purchased in New York City stores in mid-February. The findings. First, a laboratory test of washing effectiveness, what's called a turgetometry, removing soil from cotton cloth. Here, the higher the score, the more the cleaning power. A standard phosphate detergent in medium hard water registered a soil removal index of 14.9. A rival non-phosphate detergent registered an impressive 19.8. Ecolo-G, by comparison, only 9.8. Our laboratory report, in all but the softest of water, Ecolo-G tested poorly compared with the other 2 detergents. Our chemical analysis shows that while the Ecolo-G formula is phosphate-free and also now salt-free, its substitute contents, sodium silicate, sodium sulfate, and sodium carbonate, are highly alkaline, an alkalinity index, or pH, of 11.4, more than 10 times as alkaline as conventional phosphate detergents, which poses some potential accident hazards.
That is not true. Our pH is below 11. It's below the 11 level and in a nice, safe alkalinity. Safe enough to be used and not to worry about.
Boston toxicologist and pathologist Dr. Samuel Epstein, a consultant to congressional investigators, worries about possible dangers in highly alkaline detergents that contain substantial amounts of sodium silicates and sodium carbonates.
Well, my feelings on this matter clearly are that such materials would be corrosive onto the eye of an infant if it got splashed into the eye, and would also produce esophageal burns. And if there were no phosphates or other emetic materials, if a child took a mouthful of that, it could poison him. Over and above that, such type of materials can induce eutrophication by increasing available carbon.
That is, it could damage a person, but it could also damage a lake.
Precisely.
The problems of a particular detergent, Ecolo-G, don't necessarily apply to all new non-phosphate cleaners. Some, for example, carry proper warning labels. Some may wash as well as phosphates do. Comparative tests are not yet conclusive. And certainly phosphates are an environmental hazard. What does seem to be established by the Ecolo-G story is that public concern over phosphate pollution has great commercial possibilities, and these are being exploited. Robert Shackney, CBS News, New York.